This is probably going to be the most informative session of the day. We're going to go over some very important aspects of Minecraft safety and privacy. We're going to touch on some of the laws in North America. I'm from Canada, Toronto. I've been running a Minecraft server, Minecraft Addicts, for approximately 2 years now. And since the beginning, it's very clear in the Minecraft community that safety is super important when you're playing with your children online, or if they're playing alone online. I did have a PowerPoint to go with this presentation, but I'm gonna have to wing it. No visual here, so I'll just kind of explain that as we go along. So we're gonna for the first half here go over basic privacy laws that apply to the internet in general, not just for Minecraft. In the later half, we'll get into Minecraft. So let's just get ready. I'd like to talk about sharing emails, text, social networking, pictures and videos, your online reputation. Of course, today youth are communicating much more online than ever before, and this continues to grow. It's being used as a great educational tool in schools. No longer have to go to the library. It's a great way to keep in touch and stay connected with your friends. And we'll define what your friends are later in the presentation. But for all benefits, communicating online can pose its risks. I'm going to talk about the impact of some online activities and on privacy and how you can control that risk. The next 2 slides. So as we all know, it only takes a second nowadays to pull up your phone, snap a picture, and submit that to the world. But it only takes a second for that information to be out there and public and available to everybody on the internet. This is why it's so important to think before you click. And we're going to touch on that phrase as I go through this presentation. Once you post something online, it can't be taken down. Even if you send an email to a friend and it's a personal email, what's stopping that friend from telling somebody else? As secure as the internet may seem, you're trusting the individual that you're sharing with to hold on to that information. For example, you're having a great time with your friends Saturday night, and you snap a photo, and you put that online because you're having such a great time. Don't even think about it. Post, share, it's out there. And tomorrow you wake up in the morning and you think, you know, I don't think I should have done that. At that point, it's too late. And the word is probably already spread around. I'm going to talk about your online reputation. You spend a lot of time shaping your physical reputation in the real world. Your reputation online is the same for the most part. You're building a reputation that's public to the world, if you choose so. Once you have a presence online, a place to share photos or videos and post comments, you have an online reputation. Unlike your physical reputation, your online rep follows you wherever you go. Managing your online reputation is just as important as measuring your physical reputation. So here's a common phrase people have probably heard about. Creeping. How many people have heard of creeping? Or creepers? A couple here. I'll explain. It's simple. It's someone who's not your friend, and they're looking at your pictures and they're posting comments on your pictures. Of course, they can only do that if your online presence is fairly public. The trouble with creeping is that people can look at you, pass judgment, even though they don't know you. Worst of all, you have no idea they're doing it. Of course, there are a lot of benefits to communicating online. Again, I am going through my notes here. Appreciate consideration. The most important thing to understand is that you know what's going on online. You're in control of your online reputation and how the public views yourself online. This is a great quote. When it comes down to it, your digital identity can either mean eventually scoring an awesome job or heading for the hamburger stand. The point of this quote is that the hamburger stand is not a bad job. A job is a job, especially in today's economy. The point is that you keep your options open. If you think about your online reputation and use social networking and other online tools in a thoughtful way, and if you post things that you are okay with, anybody seeing your choices will stay open. Your online identity is a reflection of how people see you. If you manage it right, you will be able to choose whether to work at the hamburger stand, the elementary school, the hospital, wherever. You will even have the chance to be chosen for any sports team or an actor. You won't be limiting yourself or closing doors. Little example about that. I think that's, to me personally, I think that's the most important aspect of your online reputation. Use it to benefit yourself. You can set up your LinkedIn profile if you have a job. You can put in your skills online, and this is what I like to use the internet for. I like to tell the world what I do professionally. So if I'm ever in a position where I need to find a job and someone Googles my name to do a little background check, the first top results are going to be work-related information and anything that I would like to share with the world. And this has helped me out immensely in my career and throughout my life. And I made that decision many, many years ago when I was much younger, and I understood that the information I was putting online, everybody could see. So I figured, I want people to see what I do professionally. I don't want them to necessarily get into my life. I don't want them to see the pictures of me hanging out at the local store. Or trying to find another example that's not bar. Watering. And of course, that information getting out to someone is not going to help your professional career. We've heard that day in and day out. So let's talk about being part of that community. Here's another example of how social networking can work in a positive way. Let's say someone you know gets into an accident or some type of trouble. Maybe they don't have insurance or enough money to cover a situation. This is where you can use a community to let them be aware of your situation, and they could possibly help you by donating substantial amounts of money. A great example of this is the bus attendant, the elderly woman who was being bullied by the children on the bus when she went home, and enough to make her very upset. That got out on the internet, that went viral, and all she wanted in life was to retire and go on a great vacation somewhere. And of course, having students on the bus bully you about your looks, about your physical appearance, about your personality, that can really affect someone deep inside. What happened in this situation is that substantial amounts of money were donated to her cause to take her on a vacation and have a great trip. I don't remember the exact number of money that was donated, but it was enough so that she could retire and quit her job happily and live a very above average retirement. Remember that this can be a scam. It's very important to check the background information on what's going on to make sure that you're not being scammed out of your money. This also happens. And you can do this by calling up the organization, verifying their background. Are there risks in communicating online? Absolutely. But not everyone sees the risks in the same way. People are different ages, cultural backgrounds, social norms. They may see things in different ways, and we'll discuss this. The point is that you understand what's going on. You can be in the driver's seat. That's what privacy is in a nutshell. It's about preserving your ability to control your own personal information. You can take steps to minimize the risks, control what people see about how you safeguard your privacy. So what you post on the internet is not always private. Let's admit it, not too many people read those privacy policies that are pages and pages and pages long. Just hit accept, next, I'm in. Great. I can share all my photos with my friends. I can upload videos. We can have a little chat. But if you get into the details of the agreements, you'd probably be shocked. Facebook, for example, I'll quote this directly from their privacy policy. We cannot guarantee that only authorized persons will be able to view your information. We cannot ensure that information you share will not become publicly available. What does that mean? This means that even if you've restricted your privacy settings to a particular social network, so only your friends can see who you are, this says that doesn't matter. Maybe Facebook will have a technical glitch one day and all of that information will be out. They're covered because they say this. And you need to be very, very careful again. Trusting the company and knowing where your information is going, and still be aware that it may not be fully protected. It's the same with email or anything else you post on the internet. And I mentioned that before, just because you send one email to someone doesn't mean they can send it to their friends. This is because some things you post on the internet can be copied, pasted, and transmitted anywhere else on the internet. They could also be saved on the hard drives. So if you just decide 15 minutes later, oh, I want to take down an embarrassing comment or picture, it's too late. A couple of real life examples about this. A high school student emailed a personal photo to her best friend. It was a little bit personal. And it was clear she didn't want to share it. So what happened? Two girls got in a fight. And that girl shared that picture with her friends. And it was taped all over the school the next day. That's a horrible situation to be in. Another example of this applies to everybody, not just children. An American sports reporter, a woman in her 20s, she was in her hotel room changing her clothes, and there was a creeper in a tree taking photos of her as she was changing. He posted them on the internet with a couple of public organizations. What happened with this is that she ended up suing the company and suing the organization that posted these forms, and the person who took the forms. The photos were taken down, and justice was served. However, that photo still exists online, and it'll never go away. So when that female sports reporter types in her name in Google, all of her images are coming up. Imagine that impact on your career that she's been desperately trying to build all of her life. This is one of the risks of public information. Tip, close your blinds. Remember that everything you put on the internet is not always private. If If you have an online presence, remember that people are looking at it. Those people may not be your friends, and you may not even know they exist. If you post only things that you're okay with and anyone's seeing, that you can be confident that you're using online tools in a positive way. Think before you click. There's a picture I'd like to show. I'll explain it. It's a sleepover party. A bunch of people having a great time. And at the moment, they snap that picture and they put it online. They're effectively inviting the public into their bedroom. Would you want somebody to be looking into your bedroom? Think about the words public and permanent. Public means when you post a picture online or a comment or say anything, that of course that's public, that's out there, that's available for everyone. Permanent means it's not going to get deleted. Both coincide with each other. What you also need to remember is that the photo can resurface several years later with embarrassing results. So even though you think you may be safe, years to pass, someone just might decide to post that on the internet one day and you're out of luck. Think before you click. Speaking of your friends, it's important that you're careful with their information too. Say I snap a photo right here, click. I put it online, great, I want to show everybody who's listening to me today, great. Maybe there's someone in here that doesn't want their photo online. Maybe that'll hint that they're here today at MineCon in their location, and someone looking to get back at them they'll know exactly where they are. How to control this is difficult. The best way to do it is to ask. Simply ask. Is it okay if I post this picture online? And an example of this picture was a high school dance of a couple dancing, and there were other couples in the background dancing. This is a great situation where they may not necessarily want to see those pictures online. What can you do about this? Ask them. Look at the people in the photo, contact them. And ask them if it's okay before you post pictures of them online. Everything you post is public and permanent. This is a good example. Pretend social networking existed 30 years ago. And I have a picture that displays a younger person, all blinged out. He's got his shirt open, and he's looking all real cool. Or so he thinks. 30 years later, his son is searching online and finds this picture. Says, "Hey, Dad, is that you? What are you doing in there?" So think about that. 30 years from now, when you're posting your pictures online, do you want people to see that information? Let's talk about restricting your privacy settings. All the social networking sites out there offer privacy restriction options. You can do this simply by clicking through the options and restricting your privacy settings. You should also check your settings every so often because some sites change. Decide one day, we're going to make some changes to our policy. Everyone's just going to hit accept next on the privacy policy. And all of a sudden, everything you have in your profile and on your online reputation is public. Even like a company like Facebook. Always remember that you have control, and it's only at the front end. If Facebook's servers get hacked one day, and all of that information is all of a sudden public on the internet, they're not held responsible for that action. Let's get into friends. it's important to know who your friends are online. Think about the word friend and what it really means. So many people add just about anyone to their online friends list, even if they're not even close to you. There's a good quote. A friend of a friend in real life is really just a stranger. And this happened to me when Facebook first came out. I was befriending all the last name guys with the same last name as me. Cool, hey, the same last name. Right on, let's be friends. All of a sudden, I've invited a stranger that can view all of my friends in my network. Possibly look at my pictures. It's not a good scenario to be in. And that's a gold line of information for me. Even if all your friends know somebody, as long as you've never met them, they're still a stranger to you. Let's talk again about the meaning of the word friends, and this is another example with Facebook. A few years ago, Burger King made this app on Facebook saying, if you unfriend 10 people, we'll send you a free Whopper. Awesome. Unfriend, 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 unfriend. I got a free Whopper. And then the people that were unfriended get sent an email, and it says, so-and-so has unfriended you for a hamburger. What happened with this is Burger King had to take down the app. Because the definition of friend wasn't defined at that moment in time on social networking sites. It can also be different in the online world. In real life, you would go up to a friend and say, I'm not your friend anymore because I want to get a free hamburger. That doesn't work. It definitely doesn't work. Know who your friends are. And delete anyone on your friends list you've never met or communicated with in real life. Another feature that phones have, and I'd like to make everybody aware of this, is that I can take a picture and do something called geotagging. And that will automatically append the address where I'm located right now. There's options on your phone to disable such settings, and always make sure that you're in control of your information and that you know that it's okay to tell someone where you are if you feel that's okay. Let's talk about cyberbullying. Of course, the internet magnifies bullying. It also escalates bullying. If you have something to say to someone, say it to their face. And that's very important. A picture, a comment, words online aren't as powerful as calling them up and saying, hey, what's going on? Don't ever post nasty comments about your friends or anybody online. So here's an example of this. A woman had a 15-year-old daughter. They lived next door to another teenager. The two girls got into a fight, and the woman of the 15-year-old decided to make some social networking accounts based off of a random boy from their school. And she actually managed to get a photo of that boy and register the account. That friend, which was the mother, said things like, we hate you and we don't want you to be at the school. The victim of this bullying ended up committing suicide. It's a very serious issue, and report it if it happens to you. Or if you see something happening to somebody else, and of course, don't do it yourself. Online impersonation. People can and sometimes do pretend to be other people online, like this example. But here's a case where two boys at a Canadian high school were great friends. And then all of a sudden, one day, one of them started sending them bad emails and very, very disrespectful comments on their Facebook page. And this was a shock to that other person. He did the right thing though. He called them up. He called up that friend. He contacted him and said, "Hey, what are you doing to me here? You're killing my online reputation, and you're offending me." His friend told him that he hadn't been on the computer all day long, and his account actually got hacked. So it's not always true when someone is bullying you online. It may not be from them, it may be someone else using your account. So what can you do about this? Once again, know who your friends are. If you have people on your friends list who really aren't your friends, how do you know they are who they say they are? Prevent people from hacking in your online accounts. I didn't get into my background. I'll explain that a bit later. I'm a technical director at Chorus Entertainment in Canada. I focus on properties such as YTV. It's Canada's largest kids TV station. I do the website stuff, service specifically. My first job at Chorus Entertainment this was when I was 18 years old. I was a forum moderator for their forum, and this is the largest kids, one of the largest kids online forums in Canada. And that taught me everything you need to know about children's safety online, and how easy it can get out of control if not controlled correctly. So I kind of stepped out of line there. I'm going to get back into using different accounts and security on your portfolios online. A good way to prevent people from hacking into your account is use a different password for each of your accounts online. I was silly. I didn't do that. I used the same password for everything. What happened? I got hacked. And they used that login on all of my accounts, effectively changing everything and impersonating myself. That could have been easily fixed by just having multiple passwords for each account. Make your passwords secure. You hear this a lot. I'll remind you. It's very easy to, what we call brute force, attack a password that doesn't have any numbers, characters, and 7 characters long. It wouldn't take too long at all for someone to find out that password. Make it as complex as possible. I always use random passwords. They're not even words. And that's definitely helped. But again, it's, you get a virus on your computer, they can put a keylogger on there, and all of a sudden you've got your password. Virus protection is important as well. If a friend is acting strange online, again, pick up the phone and find out what's going on. Online snooping. Does anybody know what online snooping is? This is not creeping. This is snooping. Snooping is where I want to look up information about someone. I don't want to look at their photos or comments. I just want to find out as much information as I can about them. Let's say I'm an employer and I'm hiring them for a job. I want to find out more information about them. That's a common example. What if I'm a parent looking for a nanny to take care of my child? Definitely don't want to Google their name. I'm not saying it's right, but it does happen, and it's unavoidable. And it's up to you to control what information is out there. Ultimately, you are in control. Parents can also check out their kids' friends. Once again, only post things that anybody should be able to see. So here's a couple examples of real-life mistakes. Many people, regardless of age, don't understand how fast and simple email or post can become really public really fast. A principal in British Columbia went on a beach holiday and emailed a picture of himself to the mom of one of the kids in the school. That idea. She shared it with others and he lost his job. Ultimately, he was reinstated and he did get his job back. But it shows you how easy that someone can just jump, all of a sudden everybody knows you're in a lot of trouble. Another example is a classic one. A 26-year-old man in London airport many years ago. He was sitting in the terminal waiting for a plane, and he was a bit late, so he tweeted, if my plane is delayed, I'm going to blow this place up. Of course, Twitter, everybody saw that. It was clearly a joke, but he was banned from flying, and he had to prove that he wasn't a terrorist. What you say in real life can be taken in a totally different context when you write it online. Sites like Craigslist and Kijiji, sites where you can sell your products online, sell your stuff online. This is an example of a woman who posted all of her jewelry. She had a large jewelry collection and wanted to make some money, so she put up an ad on Craigslist and Kijiji, and next thing you know, she was robbed of all of her jewelry. Someone found out where she was, and they robbed her home and they took all of her jewelry. How can you prevent this? Well, you can prevent this. So if I'm selling all of my jewelry online, I'm not going to use my personal email address. I'm going to sign up a new email address. Call it mynejewelry@gmail.com, whatever you'd like. Make sure that there's no personal information on those ads. And that's the best way you could manage that. So in conclusion, for these online privacy policies, it's important to, and I wish I had a slide, think before you click. Know who your friends are. Tighten your privacy settings. Avoid disclosing your location. Don't share your password and change it regularly. I change my password once every 30 days. On my Minecraft server, I force people to change their passwords once every 60 days. They don't have a choice, they don't like it. It keeps them safe. Trust your instincts. Understand new features such as geotagging before you try them. Who knows what's going to come up next? Be aware of your online reputation. Protect your privacy and your friends' privacy. And always be discreet. I'm going to talk a bit now about my involvement with the Minecraft community and how I'm trying to make it a safer environment for everyone. I've been running a server for 2 years now, Minecraft Addicts. It's a multiplayer Minecraft server, and I won't consider it a family-friendly server. You have to have parental consent if you're under the age of 13 to join the server. I manage that by having a digital fax number, and I look at every signature that comes in and manually approve those accounts. There's been many situations where those signatures don't look like mom and daddy's signatures, and we control that as well. Of course, someone can lie about their age online, and that's where it's up to you to control what your children are doing online. So I'd like to talk about something I'm working on, and today's a big day because I'm actually launching it. And it's called MineCraft. I have some cards up here if you'd like to see for some more information. Please feel free, I have plenty more. Talk to me after. The goal for MineCraft is to create an environment where it's safe for everybody, from ages 6 to 18. On your 18th birthday, your account is deleted and you're not allowed to play there anymore. This ensures that we have players under the age of 18. We follow multiple privacy laws. Reference my card here. Our forums are fully moderated, meaning if someone posts a comment on the forum, it's looked at by someone, it's read over, it's checked for bad language, it's checked for personal information, and it's also checked for any conversation that could lead into a bad situation. And this is what I did at ytv.com as a forum moderator, moderating thousands and thousands of posts every day. We also don't allow chat in gaming. Chat opens up a whole new world. And there are ways to manage this. There's something called canned chat. Canned chat is where you have a list of options that you can say, hello, bye, how are you, that are pre-written, and you can select as you choose. We're working on that feature right now. We're COPPA compliant, the Children Online Privacy Protection Act. That's in US federal jurisdiction only. We comply to that as well. And that states that you must be over the age of 13 unless you have parental consent by your parents to participate in any online activity. Again, we have a digital fax number that we can be contacted by. We also follow Canadian Privacy Protection Acts. The documents are about this big. They're huge. In a nutshell, read that privacy policy. If you agree to that privacy policy, then anything in there, you agree to. It's my responsibility to tell everyone what we do with your information, how we collect it, what it's being used for. And if there's something in there that I'm doing and I'm not saying, I'm breaking the law. It's very important to us that it's clear to what we're doing with your data.
I have no idea.
And of course, in the case of MineCraft, your username and email address is stored in our database. Coming from a technical background, I'd like to say that our servers are secure. And your data isn't being replicated anywhere on the internet. And it's safe. With MineCraft, I'd like to see a family effort. I'd like to see a parent with their child playing together in an online community with other people without the risk of sharing personal information. And of course, we do this by restricting any ability to communicate with players on the server. Yes, it's nice to chat with everybody, but knowing that you're playing on a server that's safe, chat, and especially a game like Minecraft where it's somewhat individual, it works. And if you're playing in this online environment, you'll be able to see other people's works and what they're building. And you just won't be able to chat with them unless you go to the forums. I would like to talk more about drawing a little blanket. Anybody have any questions so far? About privacy law? Sure. Good point, very good point. Right, so as we all know, there are thousands of Minecraft servers out there. How do you know which one is right? You don't. Look at their website, look at their information, see what they're all about. I'd like to say the majority of the Minecraft servers out there are not safe. And they can be run by anybody, anywhere, out of their home. They can set up their computer to publicly post their Minecraft server. And all of a sudden, your trust is in the control of that operator. One of my hobbies is running online communities, game servers. And sorry. I'm sorry, I'm just totally losing my train of thought here. I hope I'm not too boring. So yes, so how can you trust these operators? Again, it's up to you. It's your research involved. Contact the operator of that server. Ask them what their privacy policy is. Do they even have a privacy policy? Half of the Minecraft servers I've been to don't even have a privacy policy. The second you sign up on their forums, they can give that information to a marketing company and make a whole lot of money. Sure. It's up to you, and you're in control of where you want to play. Do your research. Minecraft Addicts, I've been running now for 2 years, and our community is very safe. And this is geared towards people over the age of 13. We do allow chat. We do have chat filters. So if you say something bad, say something even in a way that you're bypassing our filters, actions will be taken. We have moderators, staff on our server 24 hours a day. It's about 10 staff on our team. They do an excellent job. They'll be watching this later. And they're ultimately in control of your safety and your privacy online. And it's crucial that when they apply to become a moderator, staff, administrator, operator, that I check their background as thoroughly as I can. The majority of my staff are longtime friends. And we've understood since day one that a lot of young people play Minecraft, and it's very important to us to keep that environment safe and friendly online. How are we doing for time? 150, not bad. Yes? That's under COPA privacy law. American U.S. jurisdiction has suggested that if you're under the age of 13, that you require parental consent. That's correct. That's correct. Absolutely. Our servers are in Canada. I'm sorry. They were in Canada. We've recently switched to Microsoft Azure. Regardless, we are COPA compliant. We always have been. Majority of our players are from Europe and North America. And even though we're in Canada, we like to cover all of our grounds. Much better to be safe than sorry. Sorry, say that again. Actually, I'm going to come around the mic
here. Do the chat filters apply to all the sites as well as just the chat?
That's correct. Yes, yes. And you bring up a great point. One of my colleagues, my boss, told me just before I went on this trip, she gave me some business terminology. Excuse my language, we call it TTP. TTP, time to penis. How long does it take somebody to get to that point? Minecraft, you can draw anything you like. For our Minecraft server, what we do is a daily map render that shows us the changes that are made within that day on that server. We look at those daily, review them, and remove any content that's inappropriate. Yeah, they can most definitely do that. And we, of course, do our best to look at the changes in the map, get our X-ray vision on, go to that location and check what their builds are doing. And that's, of course, our responsibility as staff members. Road signs, yes. Yes, we have, at the moment, we don't allow anyone to post on signs until we work with several custom developers that work with us to make our server safe and write us specific plugins to disable chat. In the future, we will definitely be allowing signs, and signs will have word filters on them as well. Any other questions? I like it when the crowd came in because we get, I guess, another panels going on. You guys should have been here in the beginning because we talked about some great stuff, I hope. Anyway, I appreciate everybody's time today and have a great time at MineCon. Thank you.